Hello, welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And it's our unit on Taiwan. We've got a unique cultural phenomenon here in Taiwan, taking out the trash, which is a very unique experience that Gary is going to be talking about in his blog.
Well, he's going to be writing about it. A blog is somebody who writes something online. And if they videotape it, it's called a vlog, as many of you know nowadays. We've got all these influencers on social media who put up their blogs and vlogs pretty much daily to see if they can get more followers. So we're going to be talking about how unique it is to have, to take out the trash in Taiwan. It's something that you don't see in most countries, so it's kind of fun to kind of take a closer look at this cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, I've been in Taiwan long enough to know that there used to be another way in which trash was disposed of here in good old Taiwan. They used to pile it up in alleys, and then the trucks would come by and pick it up. And later on, I guess some German magazine or some German news outlet reported on this, and it was very embarrassing. So Taiwan decided to change the program, and now you have to get rid of your trash at certain times when the truck comes around.
I'm not sure why they would ridicule that, though, because that's what we do in America. We have garbage cans and we have alleys in a lot of cities, even in New York. And the garbage trucks go down the alleys and pick it up. It's very nice because it's not out there in the street.
Well, we could talk a long time about how garbage is collected in various places in the world, but we're going to be focusing on how it's done here in Taiwan. So let's get to it, everybody. Let's listen to the entire contents of our lesson now, one time. Posted by Gary, June 5th. For my blog today, I thought I'd post about the peculiar ritual of trash time in Taiwan. It took some getting used to, but now disposing of my garbage has become a part of my regular routine. The first time it happened, I wasn't sure what was going on. I heard a short piece of music playing on the street. I recognized Beethoven's Für Elise. Like many foreigners here, I wondered at first if the music signaled the approach of an ice cream truck. Trash disposal is quick and convenient. Once the truck pulls up, you toss your trash into the back. Make sure you're using the proper bags, though. These can be bought from supermarkets and convenience stores. Then it's time to put your recycling in the appropriate bags. Be careful. In some neighborhoods, you can recycle everything every night. Elsewhere, some nights it's cardboard and paper, and others it's plastic containers and glass. Fortunately, this information, as well as trash truck schedules, is online. Trash time is great for people watching. Everyone's there, from youngsters in nice clothes and makeup throwing their garbage away before a night out, to older people in shorts, slippers, and hair curlers. Conversations break out between acquaintances, and locals are happy to help the newcomers. It's amazing how Taiwan has made taking out the trash such a fascinating activity.
Let's talk about trash, guys. Another word for trash, of course, is garbage. They're both used. I use both of them. I can't say that I use one more than the other. I will talk about a garbage can more than I will a trash can. But they're both great, and you can use them for the big cans or the small cans. Trash bags are what we use here. Of course, the professional trashmen who come and pick up the trash, they have trucks that they use, and sometimes you'll see really big containers from companies or big industrial corporations that need them. But most of us who live in apartments usually put our trash in bags, specially made for trash. Although in my building, because I don't have to go out to the street, the service is done in my building. Thank goodness. I can just take my trash downstairs in my building in normal bags. I don't have to have the specific bags that you buy in the store. I think they're blue, and they're made specifically for trash and recycling.
Yes, indeed. So trash, garbage, and sometimes you'll hear the word rubbish, which I think is used more often in the UK.
Yeah, it's just British.
And in the US, though, we tend to prefer the word garbage. I'm going to take out the garbage now. The truck is coming. And here, of course, we're talking about a blog, and Gary has posted an entry for today, June 5th, and he begins by saying, "For my blog today, I thought I'd post about the peculiar ritual of trash time in Taiwan." And he's going to post about this peculiar, this rather strange, unique, interesting ritual of trash time in Taiwan. Now, ritual, of course, is something that you do pretty much every day. And yes, trash is something you need to get rid of. Maybe not every day, but, quite often, maybe 3 times a week at least. It kind of depends on how much trash you produce. We don't take our trash out every day. It's like every other day or so. And this is a ritual. Again, is something you need to do pretty often. Like you may have the daily ritual of combing your hair or brushing your teeth or taking a shower.
Yeah, we'll often talk about your daily rituals. You might have a weekly ritual or even a monthly ritual, but it's something you do regularly. It's like a habit. People have their own personal like breakfast rituals or their morning ritual or maybe even their nighttime ritual, what they do before they get into their jammies and get in bed. They might brush their teeth, say their prayers, and then they're off to slumberland. This is kind of I would say it's a charming ritual that we have here in Taiwan. You don't see it anywhere else, and I just think it's really cute. It's also very community-like, where, your neighborhood comes together and you wait for the trash trucks or the garbage trucks and usually don't see these people typically. Maybe they don't even live next door. They're not even in your building, but they're on your street. And it's kind of a time to chat with people. I kind of feel bad that I don't get to do this. My building does take care of it. We have a service that comes in and takes care of it for us. So I'm kind of a little jealous that I'm missing out on this part of culture here in Taiwan. It's very cute.
It can be interesting indeed. And here Gary goes on to say, it took some getting used to. Of course, it's not the way things are done in Gary's home country, but now disposing of my garbage has become a part of my regular routine.
Sure.
That's a similar word to ritual. Again, your routine is like something you do quite often. My daily routine is to get up and get ready for school and go wait for the bus and stuff like that. That's my daily routine. And we've got the verb phrase here, to dispose of something. That means to throw your garbage away or to get rid of something.
Yeah, so you might want to dispose of garbage, trash, a bad habit, dispose of. We'll often use it, too, to talk about disposable things like contact lenses that you can wear one pair a day. Those are disposable. They're disposable razors that people can shave with. Here they're disposing of garbage, and it's become part of a routine. Now, the first time Gary said it happened, I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah, I remember thinking, who's playing that classical piece of music? What is going on? Although we do have trucks here in Taiwan that play songs and announcements and things like that, which is also very charming that you don't hear in other places. But Gary says he heard a short piece of music playing on the street. And he must be a classical musician or at least studied music enough to recognize that little melody he was hearing was written by Beethoven, a very popular, very famous classical composer. And the piece was called For Elise. And it's really simple. You don't have to be very good at playing the piano to play it. I learned it when I was just a kid. I think I was in 2nd grade. So like many foreigners here, he says, I wondered at first if the music signaled the approach of an ice cream truck. You can use signal as a noun or a verb. Here it's a verb. And you can signal by making some sort of motion with your hand or gesture or a sound, but it's going to be communicating something to someone. Here, this music signals to us, uh-oh, it's garbage time. Better run down and meet the truck before it takes off.
I've recognized 2 different tunes that play when the garbage truck rolls around. Of course, For Elise here is, let's see. That's for release. And
I
then
don't know the other one. What's the other one?
The other one is like the Maiden's Prayer or something like that.
I only have for Elise in my neighborhood.
Yeah, the Maiden's Prayer, I guess, kind of goes like this. Da 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you've heard that before.
I've heard that one, yeah.
And yes, indeed, in our neighborhood, I think they play both. They kind of switch them around every couple of years or so.
Huh.
But yes, when foreigners hear this music coming from some kind of approaching vehicle, they think it signals the approach of an ice cream truck, which does happen in some parts of the world. I'm from a small town, so we didn't have that. But when I visited my cousins in Kansas City, I was kind of puzzled that this truck was coming, playing this music. And
really?
all the kids got excited. Oh, the ice cream truck is coming. Also, when I was in Bali, I think a number of years ago, I heard the Walls ice cream truck approaching with their theme song as well. So, indeed, to a lot of foreigners, that kind of music means an ice cream truck is coming.
Yeah, so it was interesting that it wasn't ice cream the first time I saw the truck that appeared. I was like, oh, they have ice cream trucks. That's great. I love those. No, it's just for garbage here. You can also use signal, I wanted to mention, as a noun. If you're driving your car and you want to change lanes, either to the left or the right, you'll use your signal, your car signal, which will turn on that blinking light and let drivers behind you know that you're going to shift from one lane to another. That's a car signal.
It is indeed, and that signals the midway point in our lesson for today. It's time now for us to take a break and listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天要带大家一起来去倒垃圾咯。不是啦，是要看一个部落格 Gary部落格的阁主他发布的一篇有关于台湾倒垃圾的文章。他说今天部落格文章我要写关于台湾倒垃圾的这一件事情。不过呢，对于外国人来说，真的是要花一点时间来适应了。那他说呢，现在已经变成他的 regular routine 嘞。第二句这边其实还是有些重点，比如说倒垃圾的倒到底要怎么讲？我们一开始想说倒垃圾。Throw the garbage 不是throw T-H-R-O-W 这个动作真的就是丢到垃圾桶的那个动作。可是我们去倒垃圾的时候，其实是把垃圾拿出去所以其实第一种讲法，你可以说 take out the trash， 就是把垃圾拿出去嘛。或者是在第一段第二句当中，逗点之后我们看到 disposing of， 所谓的 dispose of something。就是丢弃不要的意思。那接着我们就来看一下啦，它第二段其实是在讲第一次在台湾发生看到所谓倒垃圾的这种情景。那我们也出现了第一题跟第二题。看到第二句就说我就听到有音乐在街上播放，我认出来第三句它根本就是贝多芬的给爱丽丝嘛，然后接着就说像很多的外国人一样，我在想说这个音乐是不是什么 ice cream truck， 所以他本来应该是听到给爱丽丝这个音乐是以为要卖冰淇淋的车子来了，所以第一题应该要选D 的答案 What was going on？ 第一次垃圾车来的时候 I wasn't sure what was going， 不知道是在发生什么事，我以为是有冰淇淋车经过要卖冰淇淋了。好，所以第一题选 D 的答案。那接下来第二题到底要选哪一个单字呢？因为我们后面看到的是 an ice cream truck， 前面又加上了 signal 就是所谓动词的给讯号，那就是一直播放的这样子的一个音乐，所以讯号来了就是所谓的冰淇淋车要过来贩卖靠近这样子的一个语义，所以第二个应该选 C approach 会比较通顺的。好，所以这个是第一题跟第二题。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about Taiwan today, part of Taiwan culture as far as I'm concerned, and that's how we take out our trash in Taiwan. How do we dispose of it? How do we get rid of it? And we have these nice, big, usually yellow garbage trucks that show up every evening. Usually it happens a couple times a day. It does in my neighborhood. We have them come at around 5:30 and then around 9:10. I always know what time it is when I hear the song from my window. I think, oh, it's garbage time. And they come and people come down from their homes carrying bags of trash. They'll have their recyclables, things that can be recycled, and just the trash that they can't do anything with except just burn it or get rid of it. And then it's a chance to talk to people in your neighborhood, catch up with them. It's kind of fun to get to know people that way.
It is. So let's move on now to the next paragraph here in Gary's blog. It says, trash disposal is quick and convenient. Disposal is the noun form of to dispose of. That's just the act of getting rid of something. So trash disposal is quick and convenient if you know the time the truck is coming to your neighborhood. And once the truck pulls up, once it arrives, you toss your trash into the back. So here we've got the word toss, which means to throw something in kind of a gentle, light, easy way.
Right. You can toss your keys onto a counter when you get home, or maybe you toss your homework onto the sofa once you get home. You can just casually or lightly throw something if you're tossing it. Here we're tossing our bags into the truck, the back of the truck. And it says here, make sure you're using the proper bags. You have to use the right kind of bags if you're going to be giving your trash to the garbage men. They have to be the kind that the city has approved of already. And that's why we're saying you have to use the proper. Another word for that would be appropriate bags if you're going to get rid of your trash that way.
Yep, that's for folks up here in the north in good old Taipei or New Taipei City. Of course, you have to buy the bags if you live in either of those places. Then it's time to put your recycling in the appropriate bags. So yes, you need to figure out where to put the recycling items. I think they have a sack hanging off the side of the recycling truck that you put, what do you put in there? Styrofoam and things like that.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, there's a fella in the back of the recycling truck, and you just hand things up to him, usually your cans and bottles and stuff like that. Some trucks may have a different way of recycling things. I know the truck has a little container at the side where you can put your used batteries in.
Yeah, we have to separate those out into a completely different pile in my building. So we would separate the bottles, the plastic bottles and cans in one little area, and then we'd have styrofoam, plastic in different areas. We have batteries in another area. And if something's glass, you want to definitely make sure you're disposing of that correctly. You don't want anyone to get cut or hurt. So when I have glass, I make sure and put it in a special place in my building. I don't know what they do with the garbage trucks. What do you do if you have glass that you're trying to get rid of, Tom?
I think a lot of people just mix them together, and then they have to sort that back at the recycling center. That's my guess. But yes, indeed, they have different regulations depending on where you live, and in some neighborhoods you can recycle everything every night. And like in my neighborhood, of course, they separate them like Monday and Friday. It's all paper goods, whereas Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, it would be bottles and things like that.
So when do you get rid of your kitchen waste?
That's every night, except for Sunday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So you can get rid of your kitchen waste that way, and you need to separate it in terms of the food that's raw and the type that's been cooked.
Oh, interesting.
So that's another way to categorize things. And elsewhere, in other places, some nights it's cardboard and paper, and others it's plastic containers and glass, like I said. So a container is something that contains something, usually liquid. So yes, you've got plastic containers, which could be bottles, but it could be square-shaped containers that used to hold, I don't know, bendongs, bento, box lunches or whatever. But in this case, they're plastic containers, and also you need to get rid of your glass.
I wanted to mention this word here, elsewhere. It's an adverb. We use it to talk about something that's in or at or to some place. So you could say, oh, I'm seeking a new job elsewhere. So I'll be seeking a job different from the place where I'm talking about. Or all these plants came from elsewhere. So they didn't come from this area. They came from somewhere else. So that's what it means, some other place, elsewhere. I don't hear a lot of Taiwanese use this word, actually, elsewhere. But we do use it. So just know it just means it's coming in at or to some other place that you're actually currently at. So elsewhere, it says some nights. As Tom says, it's cardboard and paper. Cardboard is that thick kind of paper box. They use cardboard to make boxes that you move stuff with. Cardboard. We have a special place for cardboard in my building. It sounds like we have to we have to separate our recyclables much more than you guys do that use the garbage truck. So we have different places for cardboard. Paper has its own pile. It has to be pretty thin, but the cardboard's the thicker type of paper. And we've got containers. Of course, Taiwan is full of containers because so much of what we buy is to bring home, right? So a lot of people will buy something on the street, bring it home and eat. So they're left with all these containers.
Right, and here it says, fortunately, this information as well as trash truck schedules is online. So if you move to a new neighborhood and you're too shy to ask your neighbors when the garbage truck comes, well, you can go online and figure out when the truck comes and which days are for recycling or whatever. Now, here in the final paragraph, it says, trash time is great for people watching. Indeed, you can do that. You can look at your neighbors and see what they're wearing and see who they're with and stuff like that. Also, lots of people get caught up on chatting. The older people in my neighborhood will see their friends. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, the weather is getting cold these days. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's supposed to be hot on Thursday. They'll usually talk about the weather and things like that.
Yeah, so that's a great place if you like to people watch. Everyone's there from your neighborhood or the vicinity there. From youngsters, you've got young kids out there who probably are sent by their parents to get rid of the trash. I don't know if you did that with your daughter. Did you say that to Charlotte? Just like, take out the trash, Charlotte.
Well, not really. I do it mostly myself, but she helps me every once in a while. Sometimes we produce quite a bit of this stuff. And yes, indeed, you'll see all sorts of different people out there. And you'll have older people in shorts. People will be wearing slippers. Some people are doing their exercises. They're clapping their hands while they're waiting for the truck to come. And conversations break out between acquaintances, and locals are happy to help the newcomers. An acquaintance is somebody you know. Hey, Mr. Lee, how you doing? Hey, long time no see. You were out here last night taking out the garbage, weren't you? Well, no, I had to go see my son in the United States, but I just got back, blah, blah, blah. They will be chatting with each other. And of course, an acquaintance is somebody you know. They're not necessarily your close friend, but they are somebody you are acquainted with or you know them.
Yeah, one of the fun parts about trash time in Taiwan, at least here in the north, is that you've got people who are just getting back from some event and they're still dressed up, or they're coming home from work and they ran in to get the garbage because they don't want it to sit in their house and stink up their apartment. So we've got people who are all dressed up, they have makeup on, and then we've got other people who have already changed and are ready to go to bed, usually the older folks. And you will see people in their slippers, their hair curlers. For the ladies out there, those are those rollers that you wrap hair around to make it curly, and they'll sleep on those because they're soft. We don't sleep in the hard ones, by the way, just the soft ones. So you've got all kinds of people, and as Tom said, conversations just break out. And what once was an acquaintance could likely become a better friend as the years go by if you stay in the neighborhood. But I found that the locals really are so warm and helpful to foreigners like Tom and me when we first got here. So it's amazing how Taiwan has made taking out the trash such a fascinating activity. It really is kind of fun.
It makes me want to produce more trash so I can go out and throw it away in the truck. Of course, that's a silly idea, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Let's listen now to our Chinese teacher.
那接着我们就来看看啦。那后来就知道说，只要听到给爱丽丝啊，然后还有在固定的时间就是要倒垃圾，所以后来慢慢也习惯了。到第3段啊，这个部落格主 Gary 他就说啊，其实倒垃圾啊 ，trash disposal 这一件事情，其实很快也很方便的。当然，第3格我们看到的是这个 A、B、C、D 都是连接词，代表不同的意思。可是 B 选项要特别小心一下，因为 once 除了副词一次的意思之外，它还可以当连接词，就是一旦 when 的这个功能表示时间。所以第3格我们就先来看一下逗点之前的 pull up 不是拉起来哟，是车子靠边停，车子靠路边停就叫做 pull up。所以垃圾车这个 truck pull up 的时候，You toast your trash into the back， 就把你那一包垃圾呢 toast 丢到后面，所以当然是车子停下来的时候，你就丢垃圾，它是一个时间的概念嘛，所以第3题选 B 是比较合适的。不过接下来我们就要来看一下第5句哦。第5句就是说啊，接下来你就要把回收物放在合适的袋子啦，因为除了垃圾之外，同时也可以做回收嘛，回收东西。可第6句啊，开始其实跟第4题是有绝对相关的。这边第6句啊，他说到的是小心哦，有些地方你每个晚上每个东西都可以 recycle。第7句 elsewhere， 在一些其他的地方 some nights， 有些晚上 it's cardboard or paper 是回收纸 and others， 其他晚上 it's plastic containers and glass， 可能是回收塑胶啊、玻璃等等的。讲的好像有点复杂诶，所以到了第4格之后，文意接着是这个资讯以及垃圾车到底什么时候来呢？网络上都查得到，所以在第4格前面就是好像有一点乱七八糟，让你感觉有点焦虑。那到底什么时候要回收这个塑胶，什么时候要回收纸啊？好加在网络上都查得到，所以这个文意顺下来第4题选 A 是比较妥当的。当然到了最后一段的时候，我们就看到这个 Gary 就告诉我们，其实在台湾倒垃圾这景象是很特别的， because trash time is great for people watching， 你可以观察一下。如果是年轻人呢，那这个比较晚睡啊，所以他晚上还没睡觉，都还没洗澡的时候，穿着漂亮衣服化着妆啊，年轻人。那如果是一些老年人啊，或者是像我们这种欧巴桑啊，可能是一定会穿着拖鞋啦，甚至呢卷发器啊，穿着短裤啊等等之类，就这样跑出来的。好，最后一段我们来看一下第2句，因为有点长，所以我们来分析一下。逗点之后是 from blah 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 to blah 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 blah， 其实逗点之前句子就完整了。Everyone's there， 每个人都去倒垃圾了。哪些人逗点之后 from 给他抓出来，然后跳了好久好久之后 to 给他抓出来 to older people in short slippers and hair curlers， 所以 from 从 youngsters 年轻人一直到老年人都有。不过特别注意 from 跟 to 这边全部都已经不是句子了，受到 from 介系词的影响，所以 youngsters 跳了好几个字的丢垃圾的那个丢用 throwing 动词 ing， 所以最后面的第5格，那大家就会讲话啊，注意你一定很想选 A 对不对？抱歉哦， A 的 fit in 是那种融入的意思，那 B 的 break out 就是爆发或开始。我们第3句最后一段第3句的 conversation 是对话，对话在熟人当地人之间就这样子展开了，开始了。当然要选 B 啊，对话不是融入，而是对话展开了，所以第5题选 B。 以上是我们今天内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
That's it for today. Thanks for joining us, and please join us again next time for another edition of our program as we continue with the month of June 2023. From all of us here at English Digest, my name is Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.